Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Jim, a pleasure.
Larry, what kind of challenges are you finding with the coronavirus outbreak, and how is the company dealing with them?
Well, it's interesting because I think I've mentioned this before on podcasts, but we're busier than we've ever been. And because people are, catching up and recontacting, or fresh contacts are coming in. And, a lot of people are working from home. Our office is fully staffed. Now, we did have some people working from home, but so we're back in, go-ahead mode. And so it's shown us some opportunities that were created by the coronavirus, and that is just how vulnerable these countries are outside of China for dependency on critical metals or rare earths. And so now they're starting to focus their attention on that. And I just want to remind people that we also, got our start developing a technology for working with manganese, low-grade manganese, and being able to produce electrolytic manganese metal and electrolytic manganese dioxide at comparable costs to China. At that time, that was a big thing, but you still need the price, and that's a commodity, and actually the metal price is way down. And but going forward, the U.S. is dependent on all imports for manganese. They can't get it from within the country. The only ones that have probably a solution for that was worked on by the U.S. Bureau of Mines for 60 years, and it's our patented process that brings those deposits to life, because they've got lots of low grade. And so we're getting interest in that direction again. Certainly we can supply some of the critical metals like cobalt and lithium and nickel, manganese from our recycling process. And our recycling process eventually, over a period of time, will replace a lot of the mining that's going on, and could make a country totally independent when it comes to these critical metals. So this is kind of what I want to imprint into people, that we do have advantages now that are becoming more and more, I should say, dominant in what we're doing. We're starting to pay attention to manganese again. We're not going to lose our focus on recycling. But, it's a slow process, and hopefully we'll be able to advance that. We have the answers, and, through our guy in Washington, D.C., on our advisory board, Dan McGroarty, he advises policy and everything in Washington, D.C., especially to the DOE and DOD and some of the senators. And so he's getting lot of interest in our direction, and so that's very helpful to the company. And we have some news on that. We'll have news next week. We've started to do some more things at the lab, and so we'll have news coming out of that. And at least the startup of a certain project that we've been talking about for the last 2 or 3 months. So it's all a go. Then I look at the markets and I see, as if I'm talking to you, the Dow Jones is over 24,000. I always talk about the Dow Jones because the venture exchange is, anything it's 480 or something like that, and it's not reflecting its old robustness at all. So, but golds are really flying, and we do have a good gold project in our company. And we're looking at ways that we can optimize those assets. So that will be some news coming down the road at one point. And but going back to talking about the Dow, it's been struggling to get and stay over 24,000, and I think if it breaks out from the 24,000, it could end up at 28,000 in a couple of months, and that's only great for us. It's surprising that the metal prices like copper, which is at I think a low of 205, trading at just under 240 today, and that's a dramatic increase. Certainly tells you that the commodity prices are starting to hold in there and starting to gain back some of their losses. That's always encouraging because at the end of the day we have commodities, and it's certainly the commodities we have are in demand. I don't see I see EV car manufacturing dropping somewhat, although Tesla keeps gaining. And but that's not going to affect us down the road. There will be lots of battery manufacturing that's being talked about going into various countries. And Elon's moving swiftly to cover a lot of those bases with Tesla. And I have to take my hat off to the guy. I mean, he's dynamic, and a lot of people love him or hate him, and but I think that most people love him. He's made a lot of money for a lot of investors, and he's in the right area at the right time. But he was almost broke in 2010, and a couple of things happened for him that pulled him out of that rut, and he was a $10, $11 stock at that time. And look at it today. It's high 700s or the low 800s, and wow. Wouldn't you like to have bought shares back then? So it shows that when there's opportunity around, you have to be a contrarian investor, and you should be looking at stocks that are down. And we see, we've had in a couple of occasions we've had patent attorneys look at our patents, and they figure that we've got it covered. And I've been saying that since day one. And that those patents are the company's lifeblood, and people will start to see that pretty quickly. So the whole aspect is the market, but it seems like it wants to go north rather than south. Although it's jigsawy, that's what I said in the B recovery, and let's all get back to work before we start starving to death.
People who are new to American Manganese, where can they find out more information about the company?
Well, you can go to our website, AmericanManganeseInc.com. We're traded on the Toronto Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. We're traded in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF. And we're traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM. You can reach the company or myself at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com. And although not many people do it anymore, you can pick up the phone and phone us here at 778-574-4444, and we'll answer any question that you have.
Larry, thank you so much for the update.
You're welcome, Jim.
My guest has been Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on May 8th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.